First I've got my 2 layers of plastic on the bottom. This is the 1 mil plastic from Home Depot or any paint store. This is just drop cloth plastic. So I've got 2 layers here. I've got it taped down on both sides, pulled just a little bit taut, not stretched, just taut. And then I've got the paper, again, it's taped down. And then I've just got a little piece of tape that'll hold it down over there. The reason I did this, I don't know if you remember last Friday, there's some areas that I wasn't able to burn all the way through, and I wanted to go back and do that. We were laying a little piece of paper over and just trying to hit the same area. That way you can actually fold this back and forth. If I miss a little area, I know I'm lining up pretty close, if not right on where it should be, and I can fold that back down. So you want to be able to be really set with this and be able to go back and do some repairs if you need to. So now you can see by using the pencil, I can really see where my my burning tool is going. And again, I'm just letting this glide over the paper. I don't want to go too fast because, of course, while this is hitting the paper and burning through, it's cooling down too. So the heat's dissipating into the paper. I can actually see a couple little areas I know I would have a problem with. Actually, I'll leave those just in case I've got to go back. That's the whole idea. You've got the paper to be able to fold back and forth. I've got this kind of built-in paper or tape hinge. Putting a firm pressure on it, but I'm not really pressing down really hard. And the shape that I'm doing right now is going to be a lot closer to what we're going to end up using on our creature, which is going to be these 3 long bags that we're going to have in on the neck of our creature. Now I'm just going to do some lines in the center here. And again, this is to keep the balloon a little bit more flat. And I'm going to show you how this is going to work on our creature. You can see there's a lot of areas that I'm skipping here. In the center, I'm not quite as worried about that. I'm just trying to hold the 2 pieces of plastic together with these 3 lines in the center. Not worried about going all the way through. I just want to kind of fuse that plastic together. Now I can check out and see how well done. And when you peel this back, you want to do it carefully. You don't want to rip the plastic. Go from different directions here. I've cut through fairly well. So you can see the paper pattern you've got here is pretty much a one-time deal. It's basically garbage after you do this once. But if you had to do several of the same, what you would do is make a paper pattern like this, just of this exterior, and just have that pattern that you can lay down on multiple sheets of paper and trace the exact same thing. That way you can do it. You can't keep going over this with the burning tool because you can see we've already got holes in here, and then you'd be burning directly onto the plastic and just melting plastic. You don't want to do that. So I'm going to see how well I burnt through all of this. Actually pretty good. You can see I've got the tape hinge here. If I needed to fold this back over and try this again, or hit an area again, I could do that. Yeah, this all separated really nicely. And you can see on this last one, I kept this area down in here, and this area right here that I'm cutting with the scissors as sort of a narrow little spout. And that's for the tube. I'm going to kind of put a sharp angle too. So I can slip that into the spout. It's just like the end of a balloon where you'd inflate a balloon. Going to take a zip tie and close this off. I don't want to do it so tight that I'm going to rip the plastic or crimp the Tygon tubing. Just enough to hold it in place. You'll see how these center lines, see how that's held kind of flat. Now we can actually start to pull a little texture into this. All these center lines just held it really flat, so you can see that this first one's just a large balloon, it's a big bag. And this one's going to stay kind of flat. Now it all depends on the effect that you're going for. But I'm just gently stretching and pulling, really trying to control the amount of pressure I'm putting on this. I can stretch on these lines a little bit to have the stretch mark go across. I don't want to pull big holes into it. And I wanted to show you that too. You can repair these holes. I've got a hole in this one right here, and pretty much the only thing that sticks to it is this barge cement. There's another cement that we use, contact adhesive that we use called Dual. It's D-U-A-L, and that comes from the shoe repair place that we talked about called Sederma. That's in town here. But it's a Dual, I believe 88, Dual 88. And the nice thing about Dual is that it dries clear, whereas the barge actually has this amber color all the time. So when you're working with the clear bags, sometimes it's nice to use the Dual, and it's pretty much the only thing that'll stick to it. Super glue, obviously, will get hard, get crusty. It doesn't really stick to the plastic very well. And so I've just taken a little bit of barge, dabbed it on this hole, and that should be enough to hold it under a slight pressure. If I kept on blowing on this, of course, it's going to expand. The glue is still a little bit green, meaning still a little soft, a little wet. I can keep pulling some texture into this. I'm not going to do too much here, you guys kind of get the idea. And you can just keep inflating this and seeing how that texture looks. And you can certainly pull some from the top here, just these little spouts, little pimples. And you're just pulling straight up. And you can kind of stretch those out kind of far. See those little tiny pimples. And when I've got this piece of foam here I'm gonna cap my glue up so I'm not smelling barge adhesive the rest of the time. Is I can use a little bit of my 74 spray because that does stick to the plastic. I'm going to spray some down on this block of foam. This might be a little tough to see just because it's on the white. Hopefully it's not totally blown out on the camera. But I can tack all this down. We'll do a little painting tutorial with this in a couple of days when we get closer to the painting, and show you all how the paint sticks to this and what kind of paint to use. Really the only thing that does work, I think I'd mentioned this before, was the rubber cement paint. So now once I've got this glued down to a flat surface, instead of just getting a big bubble like this one would be, because it's a large balloon, and I lock down some of these inside edges, you can see a lot of these little curves on the inside that I kind of lock the balloon down, so you're getting some nice organic little pieces in there.